to Lex Reads. So in today's video, you guys are going to be following me for the whole weekend. I really want to do some reading and just get some things done. I really want to get down on my reading, kind of clear off this TBR a little bit, and I want to see how many books I can read throughout the weekend. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, like I was saying, it is the weekend. I want to see how many books I can read throughout the weekend. I'm a slow reader, so I'm curious to see how many books I can read, throughout the weekend. I honestly think the two that I'm reading now, that's probably going to be like what I can finish. But if I can squeeze in another book, that would be great. You guys know I'm still working on this TBR and it is killing me. And I know for next year, 2025, when I do my TBR, I'm only going to have like 4 or 5 books on there. That's it. I'm not doing 20 and 30. I'm not doing that. I think I had like, was it 20 or 15? Either 15 or 25, something like that. I have to see. But I'm not doing that number because, yeah, it's just, every time when I see this TBR and I'm like, I need to read the books on there. I need to read the books on there. And there's so many other books in my collection that I want to read. But I feel like, girl, you said you're going to read these books, read them. So that's where I am right now. But you guys are going to be following me this weekend and seeing how many books I can read.
Just like you in the blab, robotic kick your flag. What flavor been a batter, chitter chatter, rather than the mad. Bet you buy, know my batter, got the data, turn your body into antimatter. And just like a piece of sizzling, you'll fit inside my stomach with the eggs and grits between.
So this is where we want to be because this is the used book section. And they have so many. Like, oh, is that Jamaica Kincaid? Huh. So I just came home to a package. This is the Unsung Black Book Club for the month of October. This is Wild, Beautiful, and Free by Sophronia Scott. And I think this is a slavery themed book. It doesn't look like it's a lot of pages. 300 and something. This is the author. Such a nice looking lady. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Ooh, look at this. Oh, that is nice. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna start this tonight. So today is Saturday, and you guys saw me read a little bit. I want to finish this book, A Lethal Lady. This was my anticipated read, one of my anticipated reads for this year. It came out in July. It is a series. I've talked about this book before. This is the 2 books along with it. This is the first book, Dead Girls, and then this is the second book, Harlem Sunset. I like these. I tend to read these in October. I started reading them last year because for me, mysteries, that is like scary to me. When I tell you I am so afraid of like anything that is scary, Halloween, all that, I don't do none of that. So my version of like scary things is a mystery, and for this is a murder mystery. So I've been reading this and so far I do like it. I'm on page 194, so I'm a good amount, and this is like 315. So a gist of the story, it's about a young Black girl named Louise. She is from Harlem, but she's gone to Paris just to kind of remove herself from her situation. She solved some couple of cases, within the past couple of years. So she's like, I want to go to Paris, kind of just relieve myself. But then a young girl, an artist in like Paris society, high society, she ends up getting murdered, and her mother ends up contacting Louise and was like, can you please help? And at first she's kind of reluctant, then she realizes, okay, I'm gonna help this girl. And then you see how she's really getting into the high society of Paris when it comes to like the art crowd. Yeah, that's where I am right now. And then I also want to finish off this book. This is the Donnie Hill. I think the last video I talked about this book because I was still reading it. And I was like, I want to read this one first to get it over with because it's shorter. And then I'm going to, dig into this. But y'all, why do I want to read? And I watched this interview of the author yesterday. I think, and here I go again, picking books that are not on my TBR, but I'm just sorry. Where is that book at? Wait, okay, it's Nigerian, so it needs to be here. This, you guys. I think I'm gonna read this. I'm supposed to read this after this, but I watched an interview with the author last night, and then I watched PETA, Comfy Cozy Up, video of her, reading this book and doing a reading review about a year or two ago or something like that. And I just love her response because it's supposed to be like a romance novel, but it ain't romance. But I remember in that video she said, if you want something that's messy, if you like Queenie or Luster, then you might like this book. And it's a book you either love or hate it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. But it's a book that is not for everyone. It's this book. First of all, the cover is amazing. I wouldn't just recommend this book. It's not a terrible book, like the writing, but the story, it's a lot of, I would say, trigger warnings. If you're dealing with like sexual abuse and things like that, this is not a book to get. And then I did like Luster. I have that book somewhere. I remember my sister bought it for me for my 30th birthday. I did like that, and it was kind of messy, like Queenie, where she didn't have her stuff together and then she would just make stupid decisions. So I like you guys know I always say that tea and that drama. I like that in my books. So I think I'm going to give this a try. And it's not that long. This book is only 278 pages. Oh yeah, we go pick this up after. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick this up. So let me continue to read. And then also it's a series that I want to watch. It's called Disclaimer. I'll put a picture up on Apple TV. I think I'm going to watch that. I think it's like episode by episodes. Like every week it's going to be a new episode. I watched the trailer like 2 weeks ago, and it looks like it's kind of intriguing, so I do want to watch it. I'll see what it's about. But first, I do want to read for at least about an hour, and try to get a good amount of this done. And yeah, that's basically it.
Let me know how everything goes.
So you guys, I finished this book last night. Okay, I would give it a 3-star. It's a solid book. It's a solid good book. But again, you easily find out who did the crime within 50 pages, 50 to 100. You already know who it is, and it was like obvious. Like after you figured out, oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, overall, it was good. I think with me, when it comes to mysteries, like what I like about them, again, I haven't read a lot, but I like the fact where I would think, oh, it's that person, and then they throw a curveball and it's a person that you would never expect. And with her, she doesn't really do that. Like the person that you would like expect did the crime, they did it. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. She did throw, I would say, like a little bit of I don't even want to say a curveball, but it was supposed to be like a shocker. But when she threw it in the story, she didn't like explain it. It was just like, oh, okay, like that's not a coincidence. I'm like, yeah. Overall, it was a good book. I would recommend, this. I would recommend this book. I would recommend this series. It's a solid good book. It's a 3-star, which is a good book. It's not great, it's not fantastic, but it is a good read. I would say, I mean, the fact that this is a 3rd book and I've continued with it, that means that, okay, that means that I do like it. And I don't know if this is the final book because it was a little bit of an open ending, but at the same time, if she would stop with this book, if this would be the last book, it'll be okay, because it's like, okay, well, yeah, it'll be okay. Again, I'm being around the bush because I don't want to give it away, obviously, and this is the third book. These covers are so pretty. I don't know which one I like best. For some reason, I think I like this one. I don't know, I like Moulin Rouge in the back. But yeah. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about this series. This was my scary book that I read, my spooky book for Halloween, and that's all I'm gonna do. So I'm done with my version of reading some scary books. I am going, since I did finish that last night, I'm going to be reading You Made a Beauty of Death, or what is that book called? I keep on messing it up. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. That's what it's called. But yeah, like I was saying, this morning I listened to a little bit, like a snippet of it on Audible, and I was like, oh, straight up, that's how we start the book. It was already a bang. So I am excited to read this book. I wish I had the original cover with like the red, but I have that other cover, but that's neither here or there, because again, I want to read something that got a little oomph to it, okay, that drama and that tea. So yeah, and I do need to go to the store. I'm thinking about going to Walmart, so I might do that. And you already know, if I go to Walmart, I'm gonna see what's in the book section. I was gonna go to Target. You know, they're having that like their version of Prime Day. What is it called? Target Circle, whatever. And they're like, oh, you buy 2 books and get 1 for free. But the ones that I was looking at, they're not anyone, like, they're books I already have, or I don't want. The crazy thing, like, there's 3 books that I want now, and they're not by Black authors. They are not. But I think I'm gonna go to Walmart. It looked like they took the black section out. It's like the only 2 black books. Y'all, this series got me hooked. I mean, I've watched, there's only 2 episodes now. I've watched the 2 episodes. This is the second time I've watched both of them. Because I'm trying to get like the story in my head. Oh my gosh. And I found out it's a book that I think I will be getting. Hey guys, so this is probably going to be the end of this video because the weekend is over and I only finished 1 book, but that is completely fine with me because I wanted to get at least 1 book done, and I did. I was also supposed to read out of this because this is on my TBR, but I honestly did it because, again, y'all already know. I end up reading and I end up picking this up, and I'm on page 66. It is a page turner. This romance, I'm not seeing why people calling this a romance book. I mean, it says named a best romance of this year. And also, I did not realize this book came out 2 years ago. And I remember when this book came out, it was a big sensation. But the reason why I held out on this author, y'all know how much I love Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, right? That's my girl. And this author, Akweke, went in on Chimamanda, okay? But even before that, I think it's that first book, Freshwater, a character in there named, I think, Jesus Christ, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit too blasphemous for me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not reading that. But I was intrigued by this book, and when my hairstylist told me about the book, I heard of that book. I know it was popular, and she's into reading, and she sold me. So that's why I got this for my birthday. Like I said, it's a page turner. I want to know what's gonna happen, but this ain't no romance. Okay? This is like a contemporary fiction, women's literature, literary fiction type of book. Yeah. Also, I would say it's on the vulgar side a little bit. You know how you can have romance books, or just books in general, that they might have a sexual theme, sexual nature, but it doesn't come off as vulgar? This does. Some of the dialogue, it's like, girl, like the first sentence, it hits you with a bang. Yeah, it hits you with a bang. Okay, so it is a little bit on the vulgar side. Like I said, I am enjoying it. I do like her friend. I like her friend Joy. I don't know how I feel about, what's her name, Thea. right now, because again, I'm kind of like still feel sorry for her since her situation. But oh girl, yeah, I already know this is gonna be a wild ride, but I am loving it so far. And then lastly, I want to talk about that show that I've been obsessed with that I just realized it's a book. It's called Disclaimer. It's on Apple TV, but the book is also called Disclaimer, and it's by an author named Renee Knight. I'll put it up. And the premise is it's about a young woman. I think she's British, and it looked like she had a little fling some years ago when she went to Italy. And the young man that she had a fling with, he looked like he was young, like maybe straight out of high school or college, and something goes wrong and it's some consequences. Years later, his parents like write a book or something like that, and they mail it to her, and she's in the book, and it's some of the things that she did. So it's real, it's juicy. And I've watched, there's 2 episodes so far. It's going to be 7 episodes. I've watched 2 of them so far. I watched both of the episodes like 2 times because I really do like it. And I do want to get that book because it does sound intriguing. I do think I want to get that. There's some other books that I do want to get, and surprisingly all of them are by white authors, except Ikweke Menze. I think I want to get that other book by her. I was looking at Little Riot, and there's another one. I need just to go in the bookstore and kind of, look at her books, also to do a little bit more research, watching reviews, watching the author talk about her works and things like that, and I might get more of it. So far I do like this book, and I do like the writing. But yeah guys, that's it when it comes to this video. You guys hanging out with me this weekend. It was a real chill weekend. I did exactly what I wanted to do, which is get books done, chill in the house. I literally only went out like twice this weekend, and when I tell you, I'm so satisfied. Just like the older I get, the more I just want to stay in the house. But yeah guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.